Welcome to Wrestling with Snipes. Today we'll be reviewing AEW Dynamite for October 30th, 2024, Fright Night. We see a video of the BBC leaving the arena last week, and then we hear Orange Cassidy yelling to turn it off. Then we see Orange Cassidy walking to the ring, and it's freshly squeezed. He says, "Last week I saw my best friend Chucky T's neck get broken, get crushed by a steel chair. I was surrounded by all the young talent in AEW, but they have no idea how dangerous Jon Moxley is." Cassidy says, "Jon Moxley doesn't need AEW, but I need AEW. Without AEW, there is no me, there is no us. Jon Moxley, I challenge you for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship." Cassidy says, "I'm going to take your belt from your bag and put it in my backpack." He says, "I'm freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and I'm the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion." Then we go to the back and we see Renee Paquette standing with the CEO, Mercedes Moné, and Camille. Renee asks Moné if she has a prediction for Camille's one-on-one match with Kris Statlander. Moné says, "Renee, you know better. Renee, I hate stupid questions. Just look at her. She's the brick house." Kris Statlander doesn't hold a candle to Camille. Then the first contest of the evening sees Adam Cole, baby, going one-on-one with Buddy Murphy. They shake hands and start up with a lockup, and Buddy backs Cole into the corner, but they do have a clean break. Cole looks like he hurt his ankle and he slides to the outside of the ring, and then he turns around, and out of nowhere, Buddy Murphy kicks him right in the face. We come back from commercial break and we see a superplex by Buddy Matthews off the top rope. Then they battle to the outside and we see Murphy stomping Cole's foot into the steel steps. The doc comes over to check on him and he helps Cole up and he starts helping him walk to the back. Matthews grabs a microphone and he says, "When things get tough, you just run away." This Adam Cole is fragile. The old Adam Cole wouldn't have just walked away. Then Cole comes back to the ring, gets in the ring, and a brawl breaks out between the two. They battle to the floor. Then Adam Cole hits the boom to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole picks up the victory. Then we see Cole put out his hand and Buddy shakes it, but then the lights go out. The lights come back on and Cole is now shaking hands with Malachi Black. Oh my. Next out comes Kyle Fletcher along with Don Callis. Don says Kyle has something very important to say. Fletcher says, "I'm a man of my word. I'm here to go face to face with Will Ospreay." Fletcher calls out Ospreay, but he doesn't come out. Shocker. Then out of nowhere, here comes Mark Davis. Who? Fletcher says, "Not the man I was expecting." He says, "You're calling out a man you know is at home hurting for a squirtin'." Fletcher says, "Mark, I've made sure there's a spot for you in the family." Callis and Fletcher open their arms, look like they want a hug. Mark says, "Mate, we had an empire. We had a united empire, and you destroyed it. Oh my." Fletcher says, "Davis, before you go, you've got a tough decision to make, and remember, I have zero problems cutting my past loose." We come back from break, and here comes the BBC. We are heavy on promos tonight. Mox says, "It doesn't surprise me that Orange Cassidy doesn't see what we're trying to achieve here. Orange Cassidy, you don't challenge me, I challenge you by breaking your best friend's neck." Then they grab Wheeler Yuta and they look like you're gonna break his neck, and out comes Orange Cassidy. Cassidy jumps on Mox, but then the crew beat down Orange Cassidy. Then out comes the Dark Order, but they quickly dispose of them. Why do we have main eventers feuding with jobbers? Imagine the NWO feuding with Duke the Dumpster Droese and the Goon. Then they put a chair around Orange Cassidy's neck looking like they're going to do what they did to Chuck Taylor, but out of nowhere, dropping from the ceiling, Darby Allin. Darby attacks Claudio, then he literally falls into the announce table. I don't think I've ever seen anyone fall into the announce table before. Then out comes Private Party and Daniel Garcia evening up the odds, and the BBC take off through the crowd. Then out come the Young Bucks, and we're going right into the Tag Team Championship match. match. If Private Party loses, they will break up, but if they win, they will be the new tag team champions. Cassidy and Matthew lock up to start the match. Matthew then hits a drop kick. They battle to the outside. Matthew grabs the ring bell, swings, but he misses. Cassidy then grabs the bell from Matthew. He swings at Matthew, but then he hits his own tag team partner. Oh my. Then we come back from commercial break and we see Zay make the hot tag, and then they beat down the Young Bucks. They each hit a 450 in the corner. Quinn hits a moonsault on one side, then runs into the ring and hits a suicide dive on the other side of the ring. Then we see Okada hit one of the Private Party members with a tombstone near the entranceway. Back in the ring, the Young Bucks go for an EVP trigger, but they miss. They go for it on the second attempt. They hit it only for a 2 count. Then Quinn comes and he returns to the ring, and Private Party hit the gin and juice. 1, 2, 3. Private Party become the new tag team champions. Then we go to the back and we see Jungle Boy being approached by Daniel Garcia. Garcia grabs him, shoves him up against the wall and says, "I'm sick of your entitled BS. You are a piece of trash." Jungle Boy says, "They used to dance for me too," which upsets Garcia, and then he walks away. Perry enters the Elite locker room and the Young Bucks are packing up. The next contest is Camille accompanied by Mercedes Moné, one-on-one with Chris Statlander. The match starts up with a lockup. Camille runs at Statlander, but Chris pulls down the rope and over the top goes Camille. Chris tries to ram Camille's head into the ring post, but Camille blocks it and hits Chris with an elbow. Then they go back into the ring and Camille hits Chris with a clothesline, taking her head off. Back from commercial break and we see Statlander going for a 450, but Camille moves out of the way. Camille hits a standing leg drop for a 2 count. Camille then puts Statlander up for a torture rack into a powerbomb. 1, 2, she kicks out. Camille then sets up for a tombstone, but it's reversed into Statlander then hitting a tombstone on Camille. 1, 2, 3. Chris Statlander picks up the victory. We see Mercedes Moné on the outside looking like she may cry. Statlander celebrates on the inside and then he's hit from behind by Moné with the TNT Championship. Moné yells at Camille to get to the back, and she says, "If you need something done right, you gotta do it yourself." Then we go to the back and we see the Young Bucks leaving the arena, packing their bags into their truck. Daniels approaches them and says, "Where are you guys going?" Nicholas says, "From now on, we are working from home," and they leave. Then the camera cuts away to Brandon Cutler running with a box of sneakers, but he noticed the Young Bucks have already left the building. Then when he turns around, he sees the BCC surrounding him. Daniels comes over to try to break it up, but Moxley grabs him and holds his head as they attack Brandon Cutler. They hold Cutler's hand up against the table and hit it with a hammer. Oh my. Then it was time for the main event of the evening as Swerve Strickland goes one-on-one with Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin tackles Swerve at the beginning, putting him into the corner. Swerve then gets Shelton into a headlock. Shelton escapes and hits a belly-to-belly overhead suplex over the top rope. On the outside of the ring, Shelton hits a suplex and we go to commercial break. We come back from break and Swerve hits a powerbomb on Shelton, but only for a 2 count. Then Swerve hits the stomp from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Swerve Strickland picks up a victory. Wow, that was it for the main event. Then we see MVP on the outside making a phone call and the lights go out for about 1 second. The lights then come back on, but then partial of the arena goes dark and out comes Bobby Lashley. Bobby walks into the ring and goes face to face with Swerve Strickland. Shelton then jumps up on the apron to distract Swerve and Bobby catches him with a clothesline. MVP chokes Prince Nana out with his cane. Shelton and Bobby then beat down Swerve Strickland as they lay both Nana and Swerve out in the middle of the ring. MVP grabs the mic and says, "Guess who's back in business? Oh my."